Ah, Coney Island. Just saying the name, you can almost hear it, right? The clatter of the cyclone, you can see the glow of the Wonder Wheel, you can smell the salt in the air, mixing with Nathan's hot dogs. For more than 100 years, this place has been America's playground. But you know, for decades, that playground has been kind of stuck in time, caught between this legendary past and a really tough present. So today, we're going to dig into the massive city plan that was designed to write its next chapter. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First up, we'll look at why this iconic spot was pretty much stuck in limbo. Then, we're going to unpack the city's big blueprint for bringing it back and the brand new rulebook they had to write. We'll also see how the community's voice actually made a huge difference, before finally we get to the grand vision for a 21st century playground.
All right, so to really get the solution, we've got to understand the problem first. I mean, how did one of the most famous amusement districts in the entire world end up needing a total overhaul? Starting way back in the mid-19th century, Coney Island was a global phenomenon. Seriously, at its peak back in the 1930s, it was just this whirlwind of energy. We're talking over 500 businesses, dozens of roller coasters, and a vibe you just couldn't find anywhere else on Earth. It was the ultimate escape for everybody.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How does a place with this incredible, iconic history just fall into decline? Well, the answer is, believe it or not, kind of boring and bureaucratic. And here you see the result. By the 2000s, those vibrant streets of the past, they'd given way to something else entirely. Vacant lots, underused land, and just massive parking lots. The businesses that were left were mostly seasonal, which meant the whole area basically became a ghost town for half the year. You know, this timeline really tells the whole story. After a century of just non-stop growth, development hits a total brick wall. And the key moment? It's right there, 1961. That zoning update, which was supposed to modernize the city, effectively put Coney Island in a time capsule, making it impossible for it to adapt or grow. So what even is zoning? Well, think of it as the city's rule book for what you can build and where. And those 1961 rules put Coney Island in a straitjacket. The special C7 zoning only allowed for these huge open-air amusement parks. And get this, it literally banned a simple sit-down restaurant unless it also had live entertainment. That meant no cozy cafes, no nice diners, basically nothing that could draw people in during the winter. It just completely choked off any possibility of year-round business. So how do you break a 50-year stalemate? Well, the city's answer wasn't some tiny little fix. No, it was a complete overhaul, a brand new framework for the future. To put it simply, the city decided it was time to just throw out the old rulebook. The whole point of this new comprehensive plan was to bring Coney Island back as this vibrant, open, and accessible amusement park. But, and this is the key, one that could thrive all year long, not just in the summer.
And here's what makes this plan so incredibly smart. It is not just about roller coasters. Not at all. It's about building a whole, complete neighborhood. Yeah, the 27-acre amusement park is the heart of it, but it's supported by new affordable housing, year-round jobs for locals, and the kind of shops and services that residents have been missing for decades.
Okay, so you've got these huge, ambitious goals. Great. But how do you actually make them happen when the old rules literally forbid them? Well, you create a brand new set of rules from the ground up. I mean, this slide really says it all. The old rules were just a list of no's. No new housing, no community centers. You couldn't even have a simple diner. The new special Coney Island district is a list of yeses. It just blows the doors open for hotels, indoor attractions, concert venues, and shops that can actually make money all year long. It is a complete 180 from restriction to pure possibility. And the plan gets even smarter here. Instead of having just one rule for the entire area, it creates 4 different zones. So Coney East, that's the heart of the action, the main amusement and entertainment hub. But the other zones, like Coney North and Mermaid Avenue, they're specifically designed to weave in new housing and the everyday shops and services that make a place a real, livable neighborhood.
Now, a plan this massive can't just be dropped on a community from on high. So let's take a look at how the people who actually live, work, and love Coney Island helped shape this new vision. And listen, don't think for a second this was a quiet process. The city held over 300 public meetings. They talked to everyone, lifelong residents, local business owners, and Coney Island fans from all over the city. It was a massive, massive effort to just listen to the community.
And you know what? That feedback actually led to real physical changes. For example, the original plan for a new street, Wonder Wheel Way,
was for a normal 56-foot wide road. But after hearing from the community, the city council went back and changed the plan, making a key part of it a 30-foot wide path focused on pedestrians, prioritizing the experience of people walking through the amusement park. Pretty cool.
So, what does this all look like when you put it all together?
Let's take a look at the final vision for a 21st century Coney Island.
This is really where the vision comes to life. Just imagine historic streets like the Bowery, which were once lined with empty lots, totally transformed into this vibrant corridor, just pulsing with light and energy, filled with new attractions that draw in crowds all year round.
And this, right here, this is the ultimate goal. A modern amusement district that totally honors its incredible history, but is now woven into a real, thriving neighborhood. It's a vision that's open, it's accessible, and it's finally ready to carry the legend of Coney Island into a new century.
Look, the plan is ambitious, it's detailed, and it was shaped by the community. It lays out a really clear path forward. But the ultimate question, it's still out there. Can a comprehensive plan, no matter how well designed it is, truly capture the unique spirit of a place like Coney Island and relaunch it for generations to come? Well, that's a story that's still being written.